It's your station for Pembrokeshire and from Pembrokeshire. Hello, Shemai Borodar to everybody that's watching us live on Facebook and wherever you are listening right here in the county or indeed around the world. Hello, Shemai. Good morning. Hope all is well with you. It's 8 minutes to 9 with me, Tobes, and great to have Carl Williams with us here this morning in the studio. Morning, matey.
Morning, Tobes. Thanks for having me, mate. How's things?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Good to get you on the show, mate.
Mate, super pumped. I've been ecstatic for a couple of weeks, to be fair, mate. And with our little delay of last week, I've just been keen all week to get in and get going.
Excellent. Well, yeah, first up, apologies about that. Yeah, I was so under the weather last week. It just caught up with me. I mean, the kids kindly passed over this bug. So I was like, cheers, kids. Yeah, a backlog of guests this week. It's a very busy breakfast show. Got the lovely Jenny popping in as well. Just after 9 o'clock this morning. Carl, first up, mate, I've got to say, you were busting some moves on Saturday night. I mean, I was DJing, supporting James Hyper, Eddie Rocks. Awesome night, by the way. I mean, it was on point, on fire. Great fancy dress effort from loads of people. Yeah. I think it was probably around about, I don't know, maybe about 4:30 or something. I just see this guy flying around the dance floor, busting these grooves, and I was like, hey, it's Carl! You're right, matey. And yeah, look like you're having a good night, mate.
You gotta shake what your mum would give you, eh?
Oh, definitely, mate, definitely. I mean, that's what it's all about, see. When you go out, see, you can get many benefits, you know, and one that I find is if you really bust some serious grooves, you're burning some calories.
Absolutely, yeah. If you're going to have some drinks, you're going to make sure you burn them off the other end, mate. That's all part and parcel. Do the crime, do the time, and make sure you burn those calories.
Exactly. But this is the beauty. You can go out, have a good time, and of course, you know, have a little boogie, and feel good about it the next day.
Absolutely. Apart from the videos that come through going, is this you? I'm dancing on the dance floor. Yep. And they're going, oh, it's all right.
That's
I'm
me.
like, hey, it's fine. It's what it is. That's what we're there for.
So Synergy Talks, Carl, it's a sort of idea and a concept that you came up with, really. We were chatting online for quite some time about how we can get some, talk out there of various different aspects. So just tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I've been in the fitness industry for many years now, and motivation is part of what I do on a day-to-day basis. And the way that the times are changing, and how social media is such a massive influence on life these days, I started doing a lot more talks online, and speaking to people through little vlogs and things. And if there was a day where I'd missed and I hadn't got my to-do list in order, and I'd missed my post at 9 o'clock in the morning, I was getting calls and texts by 10:30 saying, Carl, where's your motivation for today? What's your quote? What's your point on today? So from there I was thinking, right, okay, in the industry I'm in, sometimes it's not affordable for everybody to come and have personal training or to come and have consultations. So I thought, what's the best way to get out to our local people? And essentially that's what I'm in the industry for, is to help our local community. And help people improve themselves. So I thought, why not get online and get some free information out there to people, where people can get the most from listening to radio, seeing me on a day-to-day basis and whatnot. So that was the idea behind it.
Yeah, and I loved it. I thought this is just such a great way of hopefully inspiring some people, maybe to get into that regime, or maybe if they haven't been feeling themselves, or maybe they've recently just had a child, for example, and they want to feel better about themselves. There's so many different scenarios that I hear all the time, and I thought, what better way than having someone like yourself talk about these things. So every month now we're going to be talking about various different topics: health, fitness, wellness, motivation, and mindset methodologies. I mean, tell us a little bit more about each topic. So, of course, health. What healthy things are we going to be talking about?
I mean, health, it's such a broad topic. There's a lot in the, not in the industry, in the world, about the mental health, side of things, which is a topic that we can talk about and is spoken about a lot, but it's understanding what that is. But then if you're going to look down, you've got health from the other aspect. You've got your physical health. So it's about getting up, it's about moving, it's about your body, it's about how it works, how in order, if you're healthy, then you can get on and do everything else in life. So health as a topic is going to be very, very broad, but what I think we'll do, if you guys out there are in tune and kind of really wanting to emphasize on a particular aspect of health, we'll get you to come in with questions, and we'll say, right, Carl, today I want you to talk to me about nutrition. I want you to talk to me today about beating the alarm and getting up and not pressing snooze 4 times, because that's all health. At that point in time, that's negative mental health, because we choose and we value the extra 10 minutes on the snooze button than getting up and being mindful and going, right, I'm going to plan that day in that 10 minutes. So that's mental health at that point in time that we want to try and improve on. So we can talk about bits and bobs on that. So whatever you really want is where we're going to go with it.
Yeah, excellent. And also, I mean, we've touched on mental health. I mean, I think that's a very spoke about topic these days, and I think it's great that the stigma's been broken down. But I mean, there are studies in various different ties as well that how mental health can be improved through fitness. Which is a very important thing.
Yeah. It's one of the most fundamental things, along with music in the morning when you drive to work or whatever it might be. It's the biggest thing about exercise is it opens doors to everything. If you are physically and mentally fit, or you're prepared in order to take what the world throws you or the day-to-day throws at you, then you can have a better chance of success. So that exercise, it releases those endorphins. It enables you to think clearly. It gets your blood pressure and everything all regulated. It creates a homeostasis within your body, which enables you to do the day-to-day things well and not struggle. So that's the big thing about exercise. But what I'll do is, without giving too much away in one go, is we'll break that down into different types of exercise and how XYZ exercise will help from this part of life, and how exercise will help in another way in another term.
Excellent. So wellness. I mean, we hear about lots of wellness events these days.
Yeah.
What does that mean in a nutshell?
Again, the topics, the terms we're using here are very broad, but wellness is, in my definition, and we can look it up to be exact in again, but wellness is your overall well-being.
Okay.
Is, if you was to put yourself in a percentage of 0 to 100, if you was to say you have good wellness or good well-being, you would need to be in the 60% or above bracket if you're on that perceived scale. So it's a broad term of how you feel as an individual, how you feel in your environment, how you feel around your friends and your family, in your work, in your relationship. That's wellness on a whole.
Okay, interesting. And of course, motivation.
Motivation is, getting up this morning to be here was motivation for me. But motivation is massive in itself. But it essentially rules what we do in life. You won't get up and get to work without motivation. You won't achieve your GCSEs, your A levels without motivation. You won't get to own your first house or pass your driving test without motivation. You won't get the goals of dropping that dress size or looking fantastic on your wedding day or whatever it might be without motivation. So it comes in so many different levels. And as a trainer and as a coach, it's finding what type of motivation is essential for that individual. What necessarily might motivate you won't necessarily motivate the next person. As an example, with 1 or 2 clients, I need to really say, you're doing fantastic. I'm really proud of you. I didn't think that you'd be able to do this, but you've proven me and yourself wrong. And look how good you are. Look how much you're improving and progressing. With somebody else, I need to turn around and I need to say, mate, come on, you're taking that here. Get on, move your ass, and keep going. So you've got to look at how different motivation works for different people. And so there's a psychology of motivation and what works well for certain people.
Hello to Carl Schofield, locked in this morning, also Katie as well. If you've got any questions, please do feel free to send them in to us via the Facebook live video. Very easy and simple for you just to log on to Facebook. You can watch us having a chat right now and ask any questions there about any of the topics that we're talking about. So this one's really got me interested, Carl. Mindset methodologies. Tell us more about that.
This is fantastic. Again, and it all rolls into one, but methodologies is all about how we perceive something, and how we set out our aims, our goals, our ambitions. That's what our mindset methodologies are. There's a lot with it. Manifestation is a massive part in mindset methodologies. In order to get anywhere in life, you need to put a plan in place, and you need to put a structure in place within your head. And a lot of people find that hard to do. or they don't understand the concepts of being able to do it. I mean, we were speaking just off there about things that you want to do this week, Tobe. You know, you were saying this is your 1 week, this is your week where you need to get on with the little bits and bobs, we called them, that you hadn't done for a couple of weeks. And they were always in the I could do these list, whereas they should have maybe been in that I must do these list, or these are the most important things that I do today list. And that's a part of methodologies.
Okay.
That's a part of understanding how to put stuff into a position and then get on and do them. So that's how we teach people in order to be successful, in order to achieve goals, in order to get on in day-to-day healthy lifestyles, is by being able to have that methodology, that mindset, in order to be best prepared for what they need to achieve.
It's very interesting. I mean, because I guess everything is broken down into all these different areas, and for you as a personal trainer, I guess then it's your responsibility to be able to identify what needs improvement. However, I'm getting the sort of sense of that, you know, if someone comes to you and says, look, you know, I want to get fit, you almost need to sort of break it all down. Why do they want to get fit? What is their goals? What are their aims? But what else is almost going on in their personal life? What else is going on in their life that may be holding them back?
Damn right. Absolutely. You know, the thing with it is, I mean, for every single member that we have join up at our club, as an example, we try to have a little consultation with. And the most frequent question that I will ask is why. I want to get fit. Why? Yeah, okay. Why specifically? Well, because I'd like to lose weight. Okay, but why specifically would you like to lose weight? Well, actually, because I don't feel confident in myself. Well, why do you not feel confident in yourself? Well, it's because my partner said to me last time that he made a joke that my hips look big or I got a muffin top. Okay, so why did that affect you that way? Well, because I thought that he wouldn't feel that way. Okay, so what we really want to work on is we want to work on you feeling more confident in your home life, which means you're going to come to the gym and we can go down this aspect of it. So I know that indicates to me that when I'm speaking with you, I can't be the way of, come on, you need to do this, you're rubbish, you're blah, blah. I need to be, you're doing fantastic, you're looking really well. Can you see how doing this is going to help benefit you and help reduce that muffin top so you feel happier? And your husband doesn't have a little jibe when he isn't meaning it, he's just having a joke, but it's affected you negatively mentally. And that goes on to the mental health. So that's how we deal with these things.
Wow, fascinating. I'm really looking forward to these monthly updates. They're going to be a lot of fun, I know. And very interesting. I think that's going to be the most important thing, is finding out about all these different areas that, you can hopefully give some advice, and people will be able to take that away and hopefully work on it. Hello to Lara. She says, morning, guys. Hello, morning. Sean Williams and also Zoe Adams, a very good morning to you. So can we help you this morning? Is there something that possibly you're thinking, do you know what, I really need to get fit? You know, I'm maybe feeling not myself. I want to get into shape. Is there something that we could possibly help with you this morning? If so, then please do get in touch on the Facebook Live. And I'm going to put this one to you, Carl, actually, to get us kick-started, because what better person to put this over to you than myself, because I used to be very athletic as a young lad in school. I was in the 4x100 metre relay champions. We were the West Wales champs for like a couple of years running. I was Tenpin bowling. Used to do a lot of Tenpin bowling. I represented Wales at the European Championships, which was fabulous. I was very active, very athletic. Used to play a lot of football, and then sort of as I got older, I was doing these things less and less. I was finding that work life, personal life, having kids, all sort of took over a little bit. I then cycled to Paris for a charity, which I got roped into with only about 10 or 11 months training. A wonderful experience. I made friends for life. Picked up a knee injury on that. We completed it all. We raised £58,000 for some chosen charities, which was brilliant. And after picking up that knee injury, it really put me back. Couldn't play football. I didn't do any sport for about 6 months, and every time I sort of attempted to get back into sport or fitness, my knee would give me a bit of jip. So I was told, look, you need to really take some time out now, and build the strength back up, which I've done. I've had some wonderful recovery work from John Rothery. Highly recommend him. He's brilliant. He's fixed many things over the years.
He started his time in Pembrokeshire down with us at Synergy, actually.
Really?
He's a very, very close friend of mine, and when we speak, and it's funny, the thing with John is, and why we get on so well is we're both of the analogy of always a student, never a master.
Yeah,
and we're always
love
going
that.
back and forth with each other and trying to learn from each other and whatnot. So yeah, I can see how he's helped you out a lot. So he's a very good guy.
Great guy. Yeah. So well connected, and he knows his autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he
Absolutely.
really knows a way
Yeah.
around a body. Incredible.
Yeah, one of the big things that we used to do when he was down with us when he first got started out is he'd have a client and he'd diagnose them, give them their rehab and everything and whatnot, and he'd go, right, Carl, have you got 10 minutes at the end of every single day? And obviously he wouldn't name names or do anything, go into details, but he'd go, okay, if you had this person with this and this scenario or hypothetical situation, how would you deal with it? What treatment and diagnosis would you give? So we'd always bounce off each other in that way, and we would keep sharpening the saw, so to speak, every single week. And so when you've got people like John at hand for injuries like that, I'm sure you're gonna be able to get back into it.
Yeah, and it's great that you can work together and sort of bounce these ideas back and forth, because ultimately it will get such a good result for the patient or the person that needs this attention.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You've got two sets of eyes on something. You've got two different opinions, and sometimes when you've got different people from different expertise and different fields, you look at things slightly differently. He'll look at it from an autonomy point of view, and I'll look at it maybe from a more realistic point of view, as in like a lifestyle point of view.
Yeah.
And we'll put those ideas together and go, okay, well maybe it might be better for him to do this and this, and take this approach. So yeah, it's good, and ultimately the person that's winning is the patient.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I was going back and forward to John for quite a bit. And then I was ready and raring to go. My knee feels so much stronger now. I haven't had any issues with it for about a year. Then I picked up an ankle injury.
Yeah.
And I fell down some stairs, and it was awful. Probably one of the worst injuries. Came at the worst time as well, just before festival season started, and we had so many events going on this year, so it was a really bad time. So it took me a lot longer to heal. Now I really feel some strength building back up. How do I bite the bullet and now sort of get myself back into a regime, get me back into the gym, get me back doing the sport I love? What would be the best way for me to do that?
The best way to do it is, and you feel you're fully fixed now, do you?
I'd probably say, I get the odd ache and pain. I need to go and see John another time before I commit myself.
The reformation that you're okay.
Yeah. I need him to give me the green light.
Yeah.
I need to get the nod from him, but I'll be seeing him next week.
Yeah.
Shoulder a little bit now, because the problem is my body, and I was having a really good chat with my mum actually. She does Laurie's Lifestyle on a Saturday, and she does dancing and singing. She's very fit and healthy. But because I haven't been doing anything in the weeks, because I've just been trying to sort of rest up, build the strength back in my ankle, that I haven't been doing any sort of upper body work.
Yeah.
And then I'm going out at the weekends, lugging speakers around and things like that. So now my shoulder's playing up a little bit. So it's nothing too bad, but just a little bit niggly. So once I've got the green light from John, I'll be looking to go forward. But as we've already mentioned, it's not just the physical aspect. It's the mindset. I feel like my mind's not as maybe on point and on ball as it should be, because I'm not getting the exercise that I need to.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, going back to the physicality side of stuff, a lot of people used to say, and a lot of experts used to say, that if you've got an injury of some sort, then rest it.
Yeah.
I think it's now more moved to the fact, and John would probably back me up on this, that sometimes if you don't use it, you're going to lose it, and it gets worse. So if you are struggling with a shoulder injury, sometimes it's doing that mobility and that range of movement stuff and the light stuff that you essentially think is an exercise is the way that you need to start going forward. You need to start utilizing it in order to get it building it back up, and before you know it, you're doing 10 minutes on it per day, and then before you know it, you're back into a normal workout. But from the mindset sort of things, you need to look at either the reasons why, the benefits of getting back into something, or the fear of loss, what you're going to miss out of if you don't get back into it.
Yeah.
And there's two different ways of looking at how to become motivated. So what I would say, and what I say to my clients, is write down a list of the positives and the negatives of getting back into that sport. And it might be you want to get, let's call it your football as an example.
Yeah.
You want to get into that. Well, what does that bring? Well, it brings fitness, which brings wellness, which brings well-being. But it also brings health. It also brings a community group and a social aspect. It also brings the friends back. So you've got they're the positives of doing it, or so there's different ways that you can motivate yourself. When you've built up that list, then from there you can decide, okay, is it worth me getting into this? And then you move on to the next step. Okay, so I've identified that there's a want for me to do it, and I'm going to get more out of it from the positives than I am from the negative. Okay, what do I now do from there? I want to go to training, but it's a bit raining and it's a bit cold. Well, what I do is I make myself accountable. So I go and speak to my other one of my teammates. Look, Joe, I'm looking to get back into training. I want to come back down and come up. I've been meaning to do this for a month already, but I haven't quite got around to it. Will you do me a favour? Pick me up on Tuesday, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Because when you get me in, so you hold yourself accountable through.
Yeah,
other
yeah, I
people,
like that.
as
Yeah.
an example.
Yeah.
But that's one way of getting into back into your sport is holding yourself accountable through other people, making sure that you've built that value within yourself, and then it's down to just making sure that you can put that into your top 5 priorities of that day or of that week or of your life. If being a sports person isn't really going to affect you positively or negatively, and it's I'd like to do it, then it's probably only going to come on like a scale of 8 out of 10. Whereas it's not going to be in your top 5. But if you think non-negotiably, I am not me, without going up and turning up to that football pitch on a Saturday and seeing my mates on a Tuesday and venting because the kids did my head in on a Monday, and just getting out and doing this and that. If it's in your top 5, then you'll soon realise that you have to do it and you'll get back into sport. And then when you're in sport, it's just about routine and it's about being consistent. And I hear it every single time somebody starts back to the gym or start back to training. It's not, oh gosh, I'm glad I've got back into it. It's, oh gosh, I wish I did it before.
Yeah.
And they forget how important it is in their life until they get back into it and they see the benefits, because straight away you get your psychological benefits. You feel really good within yourself, and then you get the physiological, you get the body change and the energy levels, better sleep and whatnot. So it's if it's in that top 5 and you get into that routine, then you'll carry on and you'll be playing football for as long as you can.
Yeah. Great, I love that. I feel inspired.
Yeah.
Because it's very interesting. You're saying about sort of getting into the sort of the mindset and the regime, because that's happened for me personally, going through different sports.
Yeah.
Whether it be athletics, tempo bowling, tennis, football, rugby, and I would sort of I'd go around it, but unfortunately because of the injuries and let's say because of lifestyle, because of work, family commitments, all of a sudden that circular regime I had of going into different sports and fitness just sort of faded away.
Yeah.
And it's like now I know I feel like I need it.
Yeah.
It's as far as I'm concerned right now, for my personal health, fitness and well-being.
Yeah.
It's number 1.
I mean,
because that I know the benefits from it,
Yeah.
and it's so important. And now I'm feeling now, depressed is probably the wrong word, but I'm feeling a little bit down in respect of the, I'm missing it, and I know the benefits that I can get from it, so I know I need to get back into it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm really looking forward to seeing John next week.
Yeah.
Because I know I've just got this feeling he's going to go, Toby, you need to get cracking now.
So basically, you're building yourself up. You're in, it's the stages of change. Right now, we're in the contemplation phase. And you see the value in doing it.
Yeah.
But all you need is that affirmation. You need that. Okay, you're ready to go to get yourself back in. So what you're saying, Toby, is in 2 to 3 weeks' time, you're back training. You're back in the sport, then, mate. Is it?
Yeah, I hope so. I miss it, man. I mean, like you said, that's it. There's so many benefits from it. I mean, I know the benefits I got from it personally, but like you said, football, prime example.
Yeah.
When it's also sociable. You're seeing a bunch of guys, like-minded people that enjoy football. You have a bit of banter, you have a bit of chat about what's going on in the leagues and the like. Then you get down to it. You're running around. You're getting fit, and then afterwards, like you said, you've let off some steam. You've vented. You've got those endorphins pumped. You're buzzing, and it's in an hour of your time possibly. Which is nothing in the grand scheme of things.
And that's it. I mean, when you break down a week, and I may get the figures wrong, but there was something that we got told there's 160. I think it's 169 hours in a week.
168.
168 hours in a week.
168. Yeah.
There we are. And all we need really to feel the benefits of exercise and to kind of give ourselves a good opportunity of doing well in day-to-day life. It's just 30 to 45 minute sessions per week of harder activity. I mean, raising your heart rate above 60%, and you're going to start feeling all those benefits. So, people say I don't have time. No,
Make time.
You'll never find. It's make time.
Yeah.
Exactly that. It's about making that time. And when you start making that time, you'll realize that you do have time in the day. And it's to me, it's not a surprise that some of the most successful people in life, it's a big term that I'm using here, that are the people that make the most of their time.
Yeah.
They always seem busy. They never seem like they've got any time off. But they're also the people that are some of the happiest people as well, because they've got it all in a row. They haven't got time to worry about this. They don't make time to kind of doubt themselves or to feel bad. They're on to the next thing. They're making themselves productive, and they're utilizing that time. So they're making the most of. Yes, I've got 45 minutes, but I'm gonna make sure that I get in and I'm gonna do that training, because I know that 45 minutes today is gonna benefit me tomorrow, next week, next year, and for the rest of my life. And that's how they go.
Oh, I love it. I can't wait for these monthly updates. It's going to be fantastic. Carl, thanks ever so much for popping in this morning. And it's going to be a monthly fixture. So Synergy Talks with Carl Williams. We've heard a bit about me just before we go, Carl. How did you get into all this? How did it all come about?
The industry.
And fitness and well-being and just doing what you do, because this is your full-time job, right?
I'm fortunate that I'm doing something that I love, and there's a saying out there is find a job that you really love and you can embrace, and you'll never do a day's work in your life. And I genuinely feel like I do that. I go to work at 6 o'clock nearly every single morning of the week. I had to lay in today. I got up at 7:15. I was like, wow, this is brilliant.
Buzzing.
But
I'm jealous.
It's just one of those. It's one of those things. From a young age, I was into sport, and I was fortunate to have a sporting family. And at the age of 6, I started doing karate, and I became very good very quickly, because I had an uncle who was not just my sensei, but he was the British champion, and he was very, very good. So
wow.
It kind of, from a young age, I was taught that exercise was a must, and it was just part of my regular day-to-day ongoing lifestyle. I kind of grew up with it. But what that did then is it taught me dedication. It taught me respect for others, and how to communicate, and what sport does for yourself as an individual, but an intellectual side of it as well, from an environmental perspective as well. You get to liaise and talk with different types of people and understand different people. So from a young age, I knew that exercise was important for me, because it allowed me to express myself. And then as I got older, I don't know if it was just coincidence, but I found that the more sport I did, the more I could speak with people and interact with people in sport, the more people tended to come to me and like lean on me, so to speak. So I very soon, from a young age, became captains of my teams.
Yeah.
And what I realized is, by helping other people achieve their potential, or whether that's a motivational talk in a rugby game, whether that's tapping somebody on the back and saying, well done mate, you did amazing, but it made me feel better. So from a young age, I kind of got to grips with, in order for me to be the best me, is try to help other people as much as possible. So then I got into sport, and you get that through that, and then from there I went to college and university, and I learned about sport and exercise science and the psychology of sport. And I did my dissertation in the psychology of sport and performance between professional sports people and amateur sports people, and that was a fantastic study.
That sounds very interesting.
Just to kind of really understand how people are. And then I went and worked for a international sales company in the fitness industry. Okay. And what I really learned from there was being in sales and being a coach is very, very similar. And when you're in sales, the best way to sell something is you've got to love what you're doing. And then it's not sales anymore. Then it's just a transfer of enthusiasm. And so I learned from that age and from that point in time that when I'm doing something that I love, and when I'm just talking to people and genuinely helping people become the best person that they are, then it's very, very easy to become a coach. And it's very, very easy to help people move forward. So that was kind of that was a big pinnacle for me. It was moving from fitness into sales, and then back to fitness. It made me realize that this is what I need to be doing. Health is the way forward, and all I'm doing is I'm selling enthusiasm. I'm moving people through and giving them an opportunity to to become a better person through helping them. So
yeah, fascinating, love it. And so, how did Synergy come about?
Synergy. Well, when I was working for this particular fitness marketing company, I was working with health clubs all around the world. And what we used to do, we used to go in and we would do a marketing campaign for health clubs for a 6 to 8 week period. Bring new members into the gym. We'd get them signed up, get them inducted, get them using the equipment, show them the benefits of exercise. Then we'd move on to another club. And at one point, I think I was 21 at this point, 23 at this point. I had an opportunity to go and do this over in America. So I went to America and did it. And I met a guy over there.
Great opportunity.
Synergy is just, to me, it's just an American word. It's just like a big, bold, like brash kind of like.
Yeah. It's a great word. It's a great buzzword.
Yeah, and what synergy means is again relating back to sales, but a transfer of enthusiasm as well. And synergy means bringing two or more components together to create a better outcome than what you can individually. So I thought, when I'm going to come back to the UK and I want to live back in Pembrokeshire because I'm a very family orientated person, and I thought, well, synergy is the best way for me to describe what I want to do. Is I want to bring compounds together in order to help people achieve things that they couldn't do on their own, and I would only do that through fitness and health. So I decided to open up my own club, and Synergy is here now, 7 years down the line, doing what we do best. Helping the local independent people. Great.
I mean, a perfect name. I mean, I couldn't think of a more of a perfect name from the explanation you've just given, from the story you've told me. About how you get benefits from this, but at the same time, it's great what you can do for other people. So, love the name.
Thank you.
Perfectly fit. Synergy Talks with Carl Williams. It's going to be every month right here on Pure West Radio. So if there is ever anything that is falling into these categories, okay? Health, fitness, wellness, motivation, and also mindset. We're going to talk about the various different methodologies, but also ultimately this is all about you. It's how hopefully Carl can hopefully get you and people like me back on to the wagon of sport, fitness, feeling better, motivation, whatever it might be, whatever you're lacking in your life at the moment, get in touch with us here at Pure West Radio. We'll be putting your questions to Carl Williams, and we'll also be putting various different topics out there as well, so you can hopefully get your questions answered. Just a couple of hellos before we shoot, as I've got Jenny on the way in a few moments, actually talking about what we're going to do with our pets on bonfire work night, as lots of fireworks going up on Tuesday, and some of our pets, they don't like it, do they? We've got Mama T watching, Tracy Williams. Morning. Hi, Mum.
Biggest supporter.
Yeah, same with me. Yeah, we got to have a number one supporter, haven't we?
Yeah.
Hello to David Edwards, who's locked in this morning. Morning, Dave. Hope you're well, matey. Malcolm Crawley, Callum Edwards, Tim Evans, Dee. Hello to all of you. Thanks ever so much for watching the video. Please like and share it, and of course the podcast will be available online as well. Well, Carl, what a great way to catch up and kick off Synergy Talks. Looking forward to our monthly updates.
Me too.
Make sure you send in those questions, please. Send them into our Facebook page. Also, Kelly Williams as well. Your sister's locked in as well.
Yes, people, good work.
It's like a little family get together right now. I feel like I'm really in the bosom of your family, man. It's great. Well, Carl, thanks for popping in, mate. And looking forward to these catch-ups. It's going to be fantastic. Right, a little bit later than the usual, let's get the latest local news for the county.
From Camrose to Cresselly,